How Marion Works, a podcast series dedicated to informing you of the inner workings in all areas of Marion government and public services. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of How Marion Works. I'm your host, Layla Price-Bodkin, joined with my devoted co-host, Lillian Harshaw.
Hello.
All right, so today we get to welcome back a veteran to the show, Marion Animal Care and Control Shelter Manager, Brittney Shrout, and we'd also like to welcome one of her outstanding employees, Animal Control Officer Stephen Garmon. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And welcome back, Brittney. And I know that there's a lot that has been going on since we spoke, and that would have been Season 1, Episode 10. I looked it up, and we're going to start with a fun icebreaker question that we like to do, and I've put Lillian in charge of all the icebreaker questions, and she's going to ask me first, so you can have some time to think about your answer.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
So what is something that people do a lot? I'm choking again on this episode for whatever reason.
You sound great.
Okay. I'm just going to believe you. Okay. What is something that people do a lot of, but you don't and won't?
Okay. So I guess you could take this a lot of different ways. The first thing that comes to my mind that people do a lot, or I don't know if it's just kind of a trend. People like to buy cars brand new. Mm-hmm. And I have never bought a car brand new, and I won't ever buy a brand new car because of how I've learned that they depreciate right away in value. And so I'm all about the older vehicles. And, another thing about me is that I like to buy I like to buy antique furniture. I like to thrift and all that. But I've said that before on the podcast. So I kind of wanted to go, I don't know, maybe a different direction and talk about like new cars versus old cars. And I won't lease a car either.
Oh, you won't?
No.
Really?
I want to make sure that car is mine. Like I don't really get the whole leasing thing because it's never really yours. But I get that there are good programs out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my dad was
so you could talk me into it.
Yeah. My dad was a big leaser. I don't know what that was.
Really?
But yeah, he was. Okay. So who wants to go first? Steve?
I'll go first.
Okay. Ooh.
Pickleball.
Really?
I'm too competitive, and pickleball's too slow for me. Like I just want to argue, and I'm too competitive.
That's my kind of girl.
Softball, anything like that, I'll play. But pickleball, I won't do.
Well, a lot of people is getting hurt playing pickleball. Have you heard about that?
I don't know how.
Yeah, they're getting. Well, it's like eye injuries, left and right. Because I don't know, maybe they're expecting
Maybe.
And then someone like me and you would come in and go, God.
It's kind of silly too. Like if we would get injured playing pickleball. Oh, I got injured playing pickleball.
They probably would lie and make some other excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I would definitely get picked last for pickleball because
too aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
My kind of girl.
Yep.
Steve?
Me, I would not adopt from a breeder.
Hey, that's a good thing.
I would always adopt from a shelter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you will always rescue.
Yes.
That is such a good question, or a good answer. And I have a question for you later that will pertain to that. But those are some really good answers. What about you, Lillian?
Okay, mine has nothing to do with what you guys. It's more of a little small thing. I hate high fives.
You won't give a high five? I've never tried to high five you, so that's good.
And I'm so thankful, but I hate the whole high five thing. I'm like, no, you're not going to smack my hand all the way back like that, and I'm not going to smack yours back. We're not doing that. So it's very hard for me when someone goes high five, and I'm kind of slowly bringing my hand up.
I kind of like that, though.
And then I'll do it, and then I'll tell them later if they try to get I gave you the one, but this is not gonna be a thing for us. I do not like high fives.
And it's not a germ thing because hug. You're a hugger.
I'm a hugger, but you high five me, I got a problem with it.
Some people might be a little too aggressive. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and because as long as me and my husband's been married, he tried to high five me a few weeks ago, and I just looked at him. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." I'm like, no.
How do you forget?
I know. How could he forget?
I'm like, we're not doing that. So that's my thing. I will not high five.
Good to know about you.
Yes.
Hope everyone is listening that gets to
Lillian,
know
no high fives.
No high fives.
Fist pump.
I don't really like that either, but I just love, but high five now. But go ahead.
That was a good question, by
Thank
the
you.
way. So it got us thinking, thinking on our toes. So we're going to get into, first I wanted to make sure that, Brittney Shrout has been on before. It was season 1, episode 10. And we had first interviewed, she had brought on Caleb Day, and he is also an animal control officer. So we got to know all about Caleb. And so today, for the first half of the podcast segment, I would like to focus on Stephen. So I would like to ask you, Stephen, about your background. Where were you born and raised? What is your education and your career background?
Born and raised in Marion, Indiana. Graduated high school, Marion Giants.
Nice.
I have several certifications in animal control field. That is the main focus that I always focused on.
Okay, so, well, that was a really quick answer, and I was going to ask you to be brief, but you were good and brief. So the timeline with animal care and control, you had left and you had come back, did I hear?
Correct. I've serviced Grand County and the city of Marion for 20 years. Semi-retired in 2016, but never really, always accepted phone calls and whatnot, never really stepped away. Was always willing to come back if need be, and then now I'm back.
Okay, so what brought you back?
The passion for it. And Brittney, of course.
Oh, so because you had worked for Brittney before, because Brittney, you've been with the city, you had been there for at least a few years when he was still on before he decided to retire.
6 years, yep.
6 years. Well, that's wonderful. So you had an opening, and so he's been back on. So we would like to welcome you back to the city of Marion, and I'm sure everything is going smoothly, and you're living out your passion, which is a great thing to hear. That you have a calling, and that you know what that calling is, and you're still out there doing it.
Yes.
Okay, so why did you want to become an animal control officer in the first place? What brought you to that field of work?
My younger years, of course, everybody always has, what I want to be when I grow up. I was always a veterinarian.
Okay.
And then I kind of veered off a little bit to maybe possibly law enforcement. Realized that wasn't for me, and I did want to work with animals, and you can't, to combine the two, it's
Yes.
perfect.
So what strengths do you think that you have that kind of led you to be more so geared to working with animals? Do you kind of have this special, like an animal whisperer trait to yourself, or I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say exactly animal whisperer, but you
Some
definitely
people are.
Right. Maybe I am, and I just don't know it. But you got to learn how to read them. You got to have a lot of patience, and I like being able to work with them and the patience that is involved. And just no rush, and
You seem like a very laid back dude. Like you're just, if you have a complainant that is, scared about a situation, it seems to me like you would come into that situation and calm the chaos.
Yes. De-escalation is definitely something that you have to work, towards with the owners, with the complainant, and also with the animals.
Yeah.
And being calm is, because animals read off that as well.
Yeah.
Everybody can't come in on and be having a good day, but you got to just kind of breathe and let it go with the flow. And
So what does your day-to-day look like as an animal control officer?
coming in, multiple calls, getting the call list. Then, of course, we get multiple calls from different agencies to respond to, either in Marion or a city of, and then doing the call log, getting everything logged in, and court cases if need be, citations.
Okay. What's the most exciting thing or anything that stands out to you about your life, your work life?
Seeing a case go through as it should, and seeing that animal being adopted into a better situation.
That happens many times, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now that's very interesting. So you see it from day one probably through to the day that that dog is or cat is adopted.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that's good. How does being an animal control officer affect your life, both personally and at work? Like, does it affect your personal life at all? Is it crazy hours or?
It can be demanding, but you have to balance both. You know, and if you have a passion for what you do, you really don't see it as affecting your life, if that makes any sense. Because you can bring your home life.
You can, yeah, and you
You know.
can take things personally and bring it home.
Right. That's just something. Yeah, you step back, you take a moment for yourself, and then don't allow those things to affect you. But again, if you have passion for what you do and you're happy to go to work, you're not bringing negativity home or anything like that.
Are there any special stories or heartwarming stories that stand out in your mind, whether it's from just a heartwarming case to where a dog was adopted, or anything that was kind of crazy that you've been a part of, either recently or in the past?
Oh goodness, there's so much, from house fires to horses or dogs falling into the frozen ice. I mean, there's just so much out there that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that when there's a house fire, the animal control officer has to be on the scene for the possible dog, or I guess if anything is mentioned about do you put yourself into life risk situations?
Normally we're there working with the fire department. Hopefully, there are some situations where you may, show up a little beforehand, but maybe open a door or whatnot, but you're going to wait. You're going to wait for the proper, for the fire department to show up that has the proper gear and whatnot, so you don't put your harm. Because if you harm yourself, then you're not doing justice to what you're there for.
Yeah.
And then, yes, of course, the fire department, they carry oxygen and whatnot. So then you're going to, take the animal, comfort it, and get it to the veterinarian or whatever it needs there afterwards.
Yeah. So, we are at the tail end of the winter season, so I'd like to just talk about anything that happens often that you have to deal with regarding this season. Is there anything that you want to convey to the public that maybe they need to recognize and be more accountable for in taking good care of their animals?
In climate weather, make sure they're not left outside in inclement weather. There's too cold or whatnot, without any shelter. We're going to be coming into springtime, so we're going to get to where, there's going to be a lot of animals that are going to be in heat and whatnot. So then, of course, other, restraint in that situation. The animals are going to want to run and enjoy the season and do their animal things.
Yeah, so you probably have some good tips on both the website and the Facebook page. You guys are so active on that page, by the way. So there's always some good tips for any situation or any season. So just wanted to give a shout out to your Facebook page. That is Marion Animal Care and Control. Stephen, do you want to talk about any challenges that you have had to overcome? Anything that sticks out as a challenge? Whether it's manpower. I know that there are only 2 full-time animal control officers, and that doesn't seem like enough, but is it manageable because there are different shifts?
I would say, the challenge of the job is you probably nailed it on the head. And we all come together as staff, regardless. We try to cross-train everybody, whoever comes in and has any kind of questions. That way, if we do have to pull them out in the field, they're available to do so, and they're going to know what to expect and what to do and how to use the equipment. So, yes, manpower does give us a little bit of a stress, but nothing that we don't overcome.
Okay.
Because we've had strong growth from the years. A little history on, the dog pound started out at the street department at Matter Park.
Huh.
And then went to Tulip Drive as a smaller facility, and then from there to Avon Avenue and to where we are now. So being able to see the growth helps you get through those stressful times, because you just got to keep going and knowing it's going to get better, and there will be growth.
I mean, it sounds like any challenge that you may face in your career, it wasn't big enough for you to, just say, I'm done. I mean, you came back and you're doing a great job. So
yeah, and animals help in that fact, because animals, they appreciate it.
Right.
And you can see the appreciation in the animals of, hey, this guy's going to get me out of this situation, or I'm going to be fed, I'm going to be sheltered, and they're overly appreciated. They're excited to see you, and that's a plus.
Well, I wanted to ask you, because you said earlier that you will never buy from a breeder, you will always rescue, and so I wanted to ask you if you have any pets.
Yes, I do. Recently, unfortunately, the canine that I did have has passed away, but currently I have a rabbit, and there'll probably be more, come. And also pretty much I have any kind of pet that I, walk into the shelter. If you're having a bad day and want to go for a walk and want a companion, grab a dog.
Yes, that is a good program.
Soon we'll be able to go to the doggy park,
And that's how I had adopted my rescue dog, and she was a beagle, Nellie, and she did pass away in December, but she lived a very long life, and I'm so glad that we were able to provide that for her. So there are many senior dogs out there that definitely could use some exercise, or maybe even a forever home, right? Did you say that you had a rabbit? Did you rescue the rabbit?
No,
okay.
It's one of my granddaughter's pets, and Papa ended up taking care of it, so that's okay.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you did say the word canine. Did you actually have a trained canine to help you with a work task?
No. He was Belgian Shepherd.
Nice.
Is what he was. I just refer to the majority of them as canines.
Yeah. I don't know if that would even help to have a dog on the site with any situation, but probably not, because that would be left to the police officers.
It could be dangerous to the dog depending on what we're dealing with. Of course, a cattle dog, might be in some help, but in some situations, other animals may not react.
That's true.
to
you never know how they're going to react.
Right.
But those herding dogs, you're right. They could
Yep.
they could be helpful, but it's probably not worth the risk.
Right.
And the liability.
How Marion Works is sponsored by the City of Marion. This podcast covers the inner workings of city government to better serve you.
Okay, and that just reminds me of the brand new show that's on Netflix. I think it's just called Animal Control.
It is.
Have you guys been watching that?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's kind of silly.
It's funny.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, first they came out with Parks and Recreation, and now it's Animal Control. What are they going to think of next? But it's really silly. And the few episodes that I've watched just deal with a lot of just random, animals, like kangaroos, and you just never know what they're going to come across. But if there's some weird stories that come to your mind, I'm all ears. But
We've dealt with. We deal with horses and cows and pigs, and the most random weird one would be like a boar. Somebody had, they're illegal in Indiana, but a wild boar had made it into Grant County, and we had to deal with that. So.
Well, how did you deal with that?
I won't get in total.
Very long day.
Yeah,
my goodness.
my partner at that time, Willie Tucker, he was very good with a net. So it was like a Frisbee type net, and he was able to net it, and then we wrestled it from there.
Oh my, where was that?
It was out in the county, I want to say 600 East, out in that area.
And that is so bizarre. That's definitely not.
And they got
normal.
weird little tusks. So
Yeah.
you have to be careful when you're wrestling it.
They'll charge you, bite you.
Yeah.
So did someone call in and say there's a boar outside?
Yeah, because it was running through fences, literally, and disturbing other farm animals in the area.
Okay, so you probably do have calls from farmers a lot. that
Oh, yes,
have
yes.
Random.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Deer. We'll have deer come in the city on occasions that we have to deal with.
One time we had a lady that it was Janet Pearson. She had a bat in her house. And I don't know what ever happened with that, but is that something that you can address? Or is that something that you would have to call out for?
So we don't typically go into people's houses and get bats out.
Okay.
We refer them to like a critter control.
A critter control, okay. So is that just a local company? So you probably have like a working list that you
So
refer them to.
Yeah, just because like I tell them, I don't really, my guys going into your home, if they break something, we don't want to be responsible for that.
Yeah. So that's very good to know. I didn't realize that you're not allowed to, or that you just don't go into the house, because there is
our wildlife permit gives us like a list of what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do.
Okay.
And bats would be under the wildlife permit.
Okay. Where is that list?
They can just call and ask. So basically, I can give you a brief. Like, we can pick up raccoons if they're sick, injured, or in a trap. But we don't go out and catch them, you know?
Yeah.
Same with any wildlife, beaver, groundhog, anything like that. We will only come and get it if it's sick, injured, dead, or in a trap.
Okay. So there is probably a good, I would say, SOP, a standard operating procedure that you would maybe recommend to a caller that doesn't know what to do about maybe a raccoon or just something that's a common nuisance, a groundhog, and you probably have just the go-to guidance for them each time. And is that just by case, or is there a way that we can be proactive to educate the community on how to deal with certain animals?
So I would say it's case by case, but like, for example, if there's an animal in your attic, that's going to have to be a pest control problem. If you have a groundhog problem outside, you have, depending on where you live, unfortunately, that is their environment. If it's in the middle of the city or something like that, we can set some traps and try to catch them and relocate them. What else I would say? Yeah. So I would say it just depends. Yeah.
Now, as far as the traps go, like, is that something that we can call you and say, can I buy a trap from you?
So we don't sell traps.
Okay.
We will let you borrow them. We do ask that you make a $25 donation just in case something does happen to the trap. It can help replace it. But our traps are very limited because we do a lot of spay and neuters, and that includes feral cats. So a lot of our traps are in use during the month.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, thank you guys. I'm going to take a quick commercial break just to remind you guys to listen to How Marion Works through your favorite platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and many more partners. We highly encourage you to subscribe or follow How Marion Works wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can find all of our episodes on howmarionworks.com. Okay, before we ask some more fun questions that have to do with your work, we're going to do a second icebreaker. So, Lillian, I think I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, the question is, everyone listening? Okay. What fictional character in a TV show or a movie you just have beef with? You just can't stand them.
Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind, it's kind of old now, but it was so popular, and it was The Walking Dead. I watched every episode of that.
Same.
Yeah, we were so enthralled in that show. And I remember at first, I hated Negan.
Yes.
I hated him.
Yes.
And he's just an actor, but he just made me despise him in the way that he, killed certain people. But then, I was surprised that he actually came around and became more of a likable character, which was very interesting. And I began to appreciate him and like him. But there was another villain from that same show, and it was the governor, and I could not stand him either. Do you remember the governor?
I'm trying to think who that was.
I think it was in the Alexandria community at first.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was thinking about that one lady.
And he never, But I guess that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, Negan was terrible. Couldn't stand him at first. Okay.
It could be something from your childhood. It could be something that you're watching right now.
Who's first?
I don't know.
I'll go first again.
Okay.
I would say when I was I'm a teenager. I watched Vampire Diaries a lot. And I would say Matt Donovan. We had beef with Matt Donovan. He never died. He couldn't kill him. Like, he never turned into a vampire. He never did anything. Like,
It's like, why is
he surviving so
Yeah.
much,
Right?
you know? So I would say definitely Matt Donovan.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that reminds me of Supernatural when the characters, they die and then they come
come
back.
back.
They die and they come back. And it was like, really? This is getting a little ridiculous.
That's why it was supernatural.
Right.
Dean
That's
made
why.
Dean made it easy though, you know.
He did.
Yeah.
I loved that show too.
Steve, you got one?
I really don't. We'll throw Mr. Rogers out, but I love Mr. Rogers, but he didn't prepare me for
He didn't.
Prepare you for life at all?
right. So
shoes,
no
putting a
beef.
sweater on.
Love the guy, but yeah.
Kind of just kind of
Could have been
blah.
It's kind
prepared
of
a little
rude,
better.
Steve.
Right.
When he would come on after, what was it, Sesame Street, you were probably like,
Here he
I'll
comes.
skip
The
it.
next
No,
thing
I
you're-
loved him. I watched him, and yeah.
Did you have beef with Bill Nye the Science Guy too?
No, I like
just
that
saying.
guy.
I was going to say.
No, I'm just saying he's over here.
Yeah,
Being
all our
rude.
childhood.
Yeah.
People were teaching us good and bad. And he was like, I don't like you.
You don't like you.
Yeah. Speaking of the childhood, like the Disney movies, I couldn't stand the witch from Snow White, and so much so I was traumatized at Disney World when we were on a roller coaster. And I'm 3 years old, and I remember this. They had some kind of cardboard cutout of that witch with that apple, and it was like connected to the thing, and it was like she kept chasing me,
Oh.
and I was traumatized by her.
Oh, no.
But I feel like
Yeah.
movies do that too.
The Wicked Witch with the apple.
Growing up in Homeward Bound, I couldn't watch the part where the dogs fell in the hole until I was probably an adult. Like, my mom would have to fast forward it every time. I could not watch it.
See, that was Toy Story 3 for me. I cried every time. And Andy drove off, and I still do. I'm not going to even lie. When he drives off, I'm just like, why are you leaving
Leaving 'em,
Woody
yeah.
and Buzz? No, take them with you.
So who do you have beef with, Lillian?
I'm going to make this short because my kids know I can go for hours literally talking about this. I can't stand Captain America. Cannot stand him because it's like you knew Bucky killed Iron Man's parents all this time, and you just kept nagging at him about you're not this and you're not that. And I'm like, Tony put his life on the line every single time. Where was you at, Cap? You was just judging people and stuff, but Tony died, took one for the team. You went to the past and lived your best life and got your wife and family and came back to Muslim. I took Tony's advice. Can't stand him. At second place would be Star-Lord because Endgame would have never happened if it wasn't for him, but that's another story. But
She's on her tangent.
Yeah,
isn't she?
that's why I said I can do
Her
this for
answers are
hours.
wild.
I love Marvel. Love all things Marvel. I'm a sci-fi head, but
Me too.
yeah, but Cap, And
No
I'm mad.
Captain
I'm
America.
mad he's back in the next
sense.
series. Like, why? But okay. But that's my rant.
I guess we better get back to business. I guess we only have so much time, but that was really fun. Okay, this is a question for either Brittney or Steven. What are some misconceptions that you wish people knew the truth about? Maybe it's a certain breed of dog, or maybe just some misconceptions that are out there in general that you want to take the opportunity to educate the community about. I don't know.
I would say the first one that comes to mind is a lot of people like to refer to us as the kill shelter.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And they don't really, unless you work in this field, unless you have been a part of an animal shelter or even a rescue, it's hard for you to look through a window and see what goes on. We are not a kill shelter. We are what's called an open door shelter. So we have to take everything, no matter the breed, the age, the health, anything with this animal. So we don't know what's coming into us. That could be injured. It can be sick. It could have cancer. I mean, there's endless possibilities. And it just doesn't stop with dogs and cats. We take everything. I prefer not to take a fish, but, I have 3 cats in the lobby. That's probably not a good ideal. But we take rabbits. We take rats. We
Wait
take
a minute.
reptiles.
You said rats. We need to talk about the rats.
We do have 3 pet rats in our lobby,
And they are in a cage.
They
right?
are in a cage. They have they are spoiled. Danny Carrico, one of our workers, takes care of them. And trust me, they are. When you come in, you can tell they are loved.
When you first said Danny, I thought the rat's name was Danny. I was going to say, are you serious? You named the rat Danny.
I think
they probably have names.
They do have names. They're named after condiment. So I think it's ketchup, mustard, and I don't know what the other one's name is.
Is it relish?
Yeah, I think it's like mayo or something.
Okay.
Something. But it has like two names. But yeah, they're named after condiments. So I wish people could just, and we are very transparent. So if you come in, ask questions, we have no problem talking about it. You know, do we euthanize? Yes, we do. But it's not, I mean, I've been the manager since 2016. And this year I am the director now.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's a new world a little bit. It's a little different than being the manager. And since I took over, we do not euthanize for breed and we do not euthanize for space unless we have no choice. Right. But we have not had to do that in those years. You know, if we don't trust the dog with our family, why would we expect the dog to go live with Lillian? You know, like that's not fair to her and her family.
Right.
So we don't want to put our community at risk or the dog. You know, it's not their fault. It's just, unfortunately, it's something that they weren't taught. But we also don't believe in letting the dog sit there for 3 years either.
Yeah. I was about to ask, that's not a life. Some people think like after 2 weeks, that's it.
See, and I don't agree with that either. As long as the dog is handling it well, like you can ask Steve, being in this environment, you can see when a dog is starting to not do well. You know, they'll spin in circles. They get aggressive sometimes, you know. And that's why, like, you'll tell Layla, like, I preach a lot to people, like, please take advantage of the loaning love. Come and get them. Take them on walks, take them to get a cheeseburger. That little interaction, that they don't realize how much that helps that shelter dog who does live in a 10 by 10 kennel. Because, you know, I do have staff, but unfortunately our days are day to day. We don't know what's going on. So not every dog gets that time outside that they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that again, because I would love for that to be promoted a little bit more, because it probably needs to be taken advantage of a little bit more. Are there any special requirements of anyone?
There's no special requirements. We just ask that you are 18 or you have a parent with you if you want to foster them, that are welcome. That's the only requirement.
I might have to start doing that again in the spring, and I'll be smitten. I'll just tell you that right now, like I was with Nellie. So just speaking of education, what are some things that are going on at MACC that you wanted to promote, or just highlight just a specific program going on? I know you have a new play run that looks fabulous. More room for the animals. You have more room when you got the new kennels. Mm-hmm.
So I would say some things that are going on is our next shot clinic is April 24th. It's on a Friday. They do free vaccines from 11 to 3 p.m. It's core vaccines. There's no rabies shots at the moment. But that's for anyone. It's not just Grant County. If you're willing to drive here, you can get the free vaccines. We also do $10 microchips all year round. Yeah. Like, you can come in anytime we're open and we will give your dog a microchip. Like Steve said, springtime is coming, and that does mean a lot of kittens, a lot of puppies. A lot of people do struggle with the cost of vet care. So we want people to know, like, call us. We will help you. Let us help you get your pets fixed. If you're wanting them to get them fixed, we do have a low-cost spay and neuter. I do 4 spay and neuters a month, you know, and we will get you on a list.
Oh, nice.
And those events that you're talking about, with the one coming up in April, since this podcast will just be available forever, you have them how many times a year?
We do them quarterly. So I know my next one's in April, and then I think it's July, and then October.
Yeah.
And we do post that on the Facebook page pretty seldom, like every other week, just so people will remember.
Yes.
And I think the only thing else coming up this month or next month is it is National Adoption Day at PetSmart. Month.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be there, I want to say, let me look at my calendar. I think it's the 27th of March. So Danny and Cinda will be at PetSmart with some of our animals. Yep, it's the 27th. So he'll be there all day there, which we always have cats there. So PetSmart lets us have 4 kennels. So some of the cats there are always ours. But yeah, so Danny and Cinda will be there with some of our pets for the National Adoption Week.
Yeah, that's great, because I know you partner with PetSmart often for different promotions. Yeah. And so that's a great one, National Adoption Day. Or at least, learn more about the adoption process if you're in the area. So what is a great way for the public to keep up on the work that you're doing? Is it just the Facebook page? Is it anything else you want to?
So our Facebook pages, we like to keep it more educational, lost adoptable pets, but we do have a couple volunteers, Liz and Susan, that run a Good News at Marion Animal Care and Control page. So if you go to their page, you kind of see the fun stuff. You see us working. I think she videotaped me scrubbing a dog kennel the last week, and she was like, "Can I?"
Fun.
She was like, "Can I post this?" And I was like, "Well, who's gonna want to see me on my squatting, brushing these kennels?" And she's like, "I just think it's good that people can see that kind of stuff, that you do take the time to clean these kennels, very properly." So she follows everyone around, and she takes some very odd photos of us, but we love her for it, And so I would say the fun stuff is always on that page.
Speaking of Liz, she nominated you for a very prestigious award through the state, and Lori Goss Reeves. Yes. So do you want to talk about that award?
Liz did nominate me. Not sure why, but
It's just great.
It's just for women? Is it just for women?
I don't think it's for women. I think it's anyone. It's like the heart of 30s. So I think you have to be 30 years old. Yeah. You have to be like a certain age and live in Indiana. I think
she's
it was.
District 31 state representative. So that's where she got that from.
Yeah.
The Heart of 31 Award.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what it was. So I think you have to be at least 31 years old.
Nice.
And Liz wrote a wonderful thing, and she's too kind, And
yes.
But I told her I would humble myself and I'd go back to work afterwards. But it was really nice, and I appreciate to be, seen for all the hard work I do. I try,
Well, I'd like for you to give a shout out to all of your volunteers and all of your other workers.
Yeah, I always tell everybody, we're not just coworkers, we're family. We are very tight-knit, and that's what happens when you work with so little people, But I do have a wonderful staff. We are fully staffed. We've been fully staffed now. Since the mayor took over, I think 2024 is when his first year was.
Yep.
So when he came in, he put us full staff, because at the time it was just me and Danny. So me and Danny, and then we had 2 animal control officers, were cleaning everything, and it was exhausting. Wow. So when he came in, he fully staffed us. So I will say that it's wonderful, and I think people see it. Our building is cleaner. Not many people, we're not overworked, as much as we were. And so I appreciate all my staff, and I think I tell them that enough, hopefully.
Well, absolutely. I know they appreciate you, and you're definitely seasoned and a gold mine of information. And so we want to congratulate you again on your promotion.
Thank you.
I know that you are very happy to have maybe more control in that, budget-wise and other things like that, and new developments that you'd like to make at the shelter. Hey, we're really excited about the dog park that's coming, the Wiggly Field. That'll be nice to just kind of have pet-friendly, anything that's animal-friendly. We are a fan. I know I'm a fan of it. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we wrap up, whether it's a new rule people need to know or anything else you wanted to promote or discuss before we wrap up the show?
I would say the only thing I just would like people to understand, and don't forget that it is a law in Marion, that your dogs do have to be spayed and neutered if they are over 6 months of age.
Okay.
That is in our ordinance, unless you have a breeder's tag, and that breeder's tag does have to be purchased through Animal Care and Control.
Okay. Very good. And I know that speaking of ordinance, we have all of those ordinances on our website, cityofmarion.in.gov. You can go to municipal code to find all of the ordinances under the City of Marion. And Marion Animal Care and Control even has their own page under the department section of our website. So we encourage you to go there and see all of that information as well. I love that you have the Facebook page that is geared towards the adoptions and lost animals, and that way it doesn't get inundated with anything else really. And the events that you have is important to have on there too. And we appreciate your volunteers and their page, Good News at Marion Animal Care and Control. So we're just excited that you are here with us today, and I feel like we've learned a lot and had some fun. All right, Lillian had one more thing.
Where are you guys located?
We are located 1021 East State Road 18. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5.
Okay.
All right, definitely check them out. Okay, well, thank you, friends, for making How Marion Works a part of your playlist. Find us on Apple, Spotify, and many more major platforms. Episodes release every other Monday at 5 a.m., so follow us or subscribe on your favorite place for podcasts. For Brittney Shrout, Stephen Garmon, and Lillian Harshaw, I'm Layla Price-Bodkin, and this is How Marion Works.
Thank you for listening to the How Marion Works podcast. We hope you'll join us next time.